What's her name? It's obviously Priyanka. I'm talking with the winner of Canada's Drag Race Season 1, the OG herself. Priyanka, she's in Season 4 of We're Here. She's joining the new cast. So tell us what We're Here's about.
Oh, We're Here is an iconic Emmy Award Peabody GLAAD Award winning show where we go across America and we shine a light into some of the dark corners of all the LGBTQ2S plus hate that's happening. And we bring some joy and we tell some stories and we make you cry, we make you laugh, and we educate you a little bit about what's going on in the world these days. Very political season this time around with what's going on in the world, let me tell you that.
You're absolutely right. This season in particularly is so political because there's so much going on in the world, specifically in Tennessee and Oklahoma, where this season is kind of split in two. What was it like having that be the focus of this season rather than the previous seasons with the other queens where it's city by city?
I think it was so important. I think the longer you spend in a space, the more truth comes to light. There's so many communities, even in Canada, even in Indianapolis, where there's a lot of hate and a lot of echo chambering, a lot of like, well, God hates you energy, and trans people are not real people, and all that stuff. And at first, you go to your neighbor's house and they look pretty happy to be there. They'll give you an apple pie, but the longer you spend with your neighbor, the more you reveal their truth. And that's why spending longer in these cities and states was so important, because you see a lot of things you weren't expecting to see. That's for sure.
Yeah, and you don't spend this time alone. You have Drag Race royalty with you as well, along with you, Latrice Royale, Jaida Essence Hall, Sasha Velour. What was it like building that relationship with all of them?
I think they were just jealous of me because I was prettier. I
I mean,
think
obviously they have to be.
thought all the time because they're like, Priyanka, you're just too pretty. We can't even look at you. And I was like, I know, but now we have to go save America. What are we gonna do? You know? So it was amazing. I learned so much from each and every one of them. It's wild. Like back in the day, when I first met Jada, she used to stick up for me when people would bully me online. To now being able to do that for the queer community with her is so funny. Sasha Velour, it was on the first season of Drag Race I ever watched, and being able to see the way that she has really heated conversations in a very calm and demure way was such a learning tool for me. And Latrice Royale, baby. I don't need to say anything. You know what it is. It's perfection.
There's nothing to say about Latrice Royale. I can't wait to talk to her next. So
Hmm.
you're from Canada, obviously, Canada's Drag Race, but we know you here in the United States. You're coming here to kind of spread the love and deal with these issues here in the United States. How has that impact you going back home and trying to spread that same message?
They need it. Everyone's always like, Canada is so perfect and Canada's amazing. I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of great things about Canada, but whatever happens in the US is happening up here. We also have, people that wear like Nazi symbols trying to shut down our drag brunches. We also have a lot of death threats and bomb threats to our drag shows. It's basically the same. And it was important for me to be like, it's the same, everybody. Like, Canada ain't this big safe haven because we have a lot of work to do. But going to America to uncover it all was crazy. Because if I got arrested, I would have lost my American work visa, which means I would have never been able to work in the US again. So it was a little risque, but whatever. I'm a drag queen. I can get out of anything, right? That's how it works.
Of course, that's how it works. It's risky, but it's such important work that you all did. We see you guys on the front lines in the drag community in Tennessee and Oklahoma. So, what message do you want this show, which comes out on Friday nights on HBO and Max? What do you want this show for people to see and hear from?
I want people just to learn patience and just to slow down and stop being so angry and just have some conversations and stop judging. There's no rules anymore. It's not the 1940s, hun. There's no rules. Open your mind, keep it calm, and carry on is my light way of saying. I think that's what it is. Everyone's so stuck in their ways and like, well, if it's not the specific way, that means that it's wrong. I'm like, slow it down, girl. Like, just have a drink and just learn something. Open your mind, because the more you judge, the more energy you're putting out there. For what? For nothing. It ain't bothering you.
Yep. Have a cocktail, watch We're Here with your best friends. I can't wait for people to see this season. It's easily the best season yet. Friday nights on HBO, streaming on Max. Thank you so much, Priyanka.
Thank you.
So I just talked with Priyanka, and she said it best. This next queen needs absolutely no introduction. I'm talking with Latrice Royale herself, Drag Race royalty. You're joining this next season of We're Here, so tell us what We're Here's about.
We're Here is about uh, diving into these communities and places that being queer is not accepted or tolerated. And there has been a lot of legislation and laws to uh, ban the existence of drag. And so we're coming.
We're coming, we're here. I've been a We're Here stan from the very beginning, but what I love most about this season is that you're using these real experiences that's going on in Tennessee and Oklahoma and just doing such a huge deep dive rather than just one episode in each. You come in the second half of the season in Oklahoma. So what was that like being brought into all of this?
Amazing. This is what I've been doing, so I felt like an extension of what I've been doing on a much broader scale and level. But the mission and the work is still the same, and I'm here for it. You know, I'm going to defend drag at all costs.
We have to keep defending it, whether it's in your small community, whether it's how you vote, whether it's whatever you do. And we can't not talk about the queens that you were joined with, Priyanka and Sasha Velour. What was it like working with them?
Oh, I love them too. I love them so much. I've toured with them before prior to this, so we know each other intimately. You know, not that like that, but like you know. And so there was always a level of love and respect already there. So to work with them in this capacity has been amazing because we get to really get to the heart and core of what's making people so fearful and hateful. And Priyanka's so inquisitive, asking the right questions. Sasha's so cerebral, we're hitting with the hardcore facts. And I am rationale, like, now you know better, right?
I will say probably one of my top 5 all-time favorite YouTube clips is watching you on Family Feud when you're with Mama Rue and Michelle and Steve Harvey comes up to you and is like, "What's so scary about me?" You go, "Look at me." And I'm just like, that's so funny. But you have to use that same kind of intimidation when it comes to a show like this.
100%. 100%. So we're just showing up in our uniforms and doing our jobs.
And what do you want to tell the people? So obviously the queer community, We're Here, we love RuPaul's Drag Race, but this show is so good for everyone who is getting a new perspective, and drag is not scary. Drag is not a crime. It's not an awful thing that people are so need to embrace this. What do you want people to take away from this show?
All of those things, and to not judge books by their covers and stop believing the hype. Please educate yourselves. And like you can see that how ignorance is running rampant, but you have to realize ignorance is a choice. And if you're making a choice to be that way, you are part of the problem. So educate yourselves and free yourselves.
Yes, educate yourselves. Make sure you have your box of tissues when you're watching this show. It's so emotional, but in the best ways. Thank you so much, Latrice.
My pleasure.
Yes, make sure you watch We're Here Friday nights on Max and on HBO.